score, but if it's round about 10 to the over and they're 55-60 for one after 6 overs, I think it'll be very, very difficult for the Kandahar Knights to pull that back and defend it.
124 from 55 earlier on against Nangarhar. And of course, that brilliant 62 from only 17 for this man here, Hazrat. If he goes early, it'll be a huge psychological advantage for the Kandahar Knights. And he could, because he does tend to swing. Missed the first one. And missed it again, but an inside edge. And he'll get lucky. It's a fog boundary. Not very convincing.
Leg buys and many fast bowlers will tell you that should be banned from the game. When you've defeated the batsman and it hits his bat and goes to the boundary for 4, that's really unfair. If it comes to their judgment, there was a bit of swing. He's tucking him up, giving him no room to free his arms. That is a definite game plan. It hits that back leg and ricochets off down to the boundary for 4.
Well, once again, a very good delivery for a right-handed batsman, but was drifting down. Now, perhaps they're all aware that Hazrat likes to clear his right foot completely and then go for the big swing. Once again, almost the same. Did he get a bit of bat tape this time? No, it's buys. And again, disappointing end. 1 over gone, lots of runs, 17 for no loss.
Well, he's bowled one bad ball, I reckon, in this over and gone for 17. He's followed him, perfect Yorker, just too good. Swung a bit and swung away from Ricky Wessels. Not much he can do about that. As I said, he's not done much wrong in that over. In fact, he's followed the game plan down to a T. And at the end of it, they're off to a flyer.
Yeah, he looked across at Ricky Wessels, the keeper, and it's a little unfair on the man. Either you should have communicated that that's exactly where I'm going to go again and again. But Wessels standing well to the offside the earlier over. Here he is, very useful with the bat.
Right, so bowling the second over, Kareem Sadiq is well versed in bowling in the power play overs, know exactly what's required. But he's got his work cut out here against these two because they're going to take him on.
Swung away, not much protection there. Big distance to cover. The man who was at more mid-wicket than deep square. So a boundary given away by Kareem Sadiq. Ronki lashed onto that. Now Sadiq, of course, has had a strange curve this entire tournament with a bat. Almost never got any runs, but after initially keeping for his team, the Kandahar Knights, he was released. And as Ricky Wessels came in, he is doing better bowling duty, which I think is his weaker forte compared to the bat, we believe. Big swing, nobody there. That's going to go all the way for another Shpagiza. Luke Ronki created a bit of space, saw the ball well. Excellent timing once again.
Oh, it's a lovely shot. If you're in any doubt about the quality of this wicket for stroke play, you just need to look at this. Ashkar Afghan showed it in the Kandahar innings, and Luke Ronki just showing it in the Kabul's one-on innings, giving himself a bit of room and helping himself.
Behind the bowler, very safe. No protection there. A 6 followed by a fog boundary. And this is very quickly unraveling for the Kandahar Knights. Remember, if they lose today, they're playing only their 6th match. They do have another 2 opportunities, but better to put a win away today. Looking less and less likely.
Yeah, it's not a good delivery. Full toss. And he could have picked many spots on the field. Now then, going for another field set change. He started off with the conventional one with 2 men behind square in the circle. And he's decided that after a little bit of consultation, there's a field change and there's an orthodox square leg and a mid-on back. Right, there we go. It means there's big wide open spaces over mid-wicket. Going down the leg side slightly. Interesting fact as well is that Brendan McCullum is not on the field. So Wahid Shafaq is the 12th man and he's on the field. So it's not that he's a bowling option, but it's always good to have your senior players out there. Just when things get tough, they're there that you can turn to and know that they've been in situations such as this and will be there to try and get you through it.
Jumps out. This could be a good fielding change, but the long on will not be in play. Oh, another sweetly connected Spagiza by Luke Ronchi. An expensive over, back-to-back. Lots of runs given away, 2 gone, 37 for no loss.
Well, it'll take a Herculean effort to come back from here, I'll tell you. Luke Ronchi is a man on a mission. He's really taking it to them and not afraid to play shots all around the ground, playing with a lovely straight bat on this occasion, not trying to hit it too hard, relying on placement and power. So he's at 28 of just 9 deliveries. And would you believe, Hazratullah is yet to get off the mark.
Well, a bit like the Kandahar innings where Asghar Afghan was going great guns, and Sterling, of course, got out early, and then McCullum came in. Both of them were unable to get any runs while Asghar Afghan was just racing along. Down leg, and Shahzad, of course, is one of the quicker bowlers we've seen here in the league. You like his looks? I think he'll be quite regular for Afghanistan. Really cranks up the pace.
Yeah, and got a magnificent slow ball. Great change of pace. I think him and Asuru Udana have been the 2 standout seam bowlers, without a shadow of doubt. And he's so good at the back end of the innings that that slower ball, the change of pace, hasn't been picked by many batsmen. It's had the fooling of many.
Well, one of the advantages, I suppose, when you bowl quick and you come in from outside the 30-yard circle, so it's a really long run-up, is then there's plenty of time for the batsman to think it's going to come quick. And then the slower one really tricks you. Now, that was quick. Turned away. So, Hazratullah finally gets on the scoreboard here. A Salureza for him. I think it came a little too quickly. Got the top half of the bat.
There's a definite game plan to bowl straight, whether it be full or short. He didn't look at it. He just swatted it away. As well, there were a few insects pestering him. And that's an instinctive player. And even then, when he's not looking at it, he's able to swing the bat on the right plane and collect the ball on the way through.
Well, the faster it comes, sometimes the faster it disappears as far as Hazrat is concerned. And he hasn't quite found his timing so far. Hasn't had too much of the strike either. But I'm sure there were lots of celebrations in the Zazai camp after that magnificent world record equaling innings a few days ago. Alistair?
Yeah, I think it's been trending everywhere, and particularly back home in Afghanistan. They love their heroes, love people taking on the world and succeeding. And he's up there in very select company.
There must have been lots of feasting, and maybe Hazrat is hurting just a bit. Ronchi gives it the charge, and how well did Shahzad respond? Quick! Thudded into Wessels' gloves.
Yeah, good pace and bounce, but you don't mind this as a batsman. You'd far rather this than slow and low. This is Luke Ronchi thus far. He's just played some orthodox, good cricketing strokes. He's improvised a wee bit, used his feet, and he's played superbly.
And that last 6, knowing that there was long on there, just showed a lot of confidence. Didn't try and hit it too hard. Knew that there's still spaces behind the bowler. Well, there you go. So very quick, and then the change of pace. And Luke Ronchi just swung through it without really realizing it was a slow one, I think.
Terrific change of pace. That's what I was talking about. Bowling 140 clicks the ball before, and there we are. There's that slow one into the middle of the pitch. It's so well disguised and then so well executed. Really, really good stuff. They need a wicket though, Kandahar Knights. Simple as that. This game is edging away from them. They need not only one, maybe a couple quickly to get them back in the game.
I was about to say 10. Yeah, full inside half of the bat. And they may still get an easy 2. So runs coming very easily. No hurry at this point of time now that they've gotten off to a terrific start because the Kabul's one-on team. Lots of smiles around for the men in blue and orange. 44 for no loss after 3.
.30 of 12 for Luke Ronke. He's setting the place alight here this evening in pursuit of 152. Well, they've really got off to a flyer and broken the back of this run chase early on. They just need to make sure they keep going, keep taking advantage of this first 6 overs. And if they do, the game is all but won. Hazratullah really, he's so used to having it all his own way, so used to leading from the front and being the man that smokes it everywhere. Not tonight. Luke Ronke has been that man. And Hazratullah very much in the shadows at the moment.
Well, I think I was a little surprised that Asghar Afghan gave Karim Sadiq the second over from the pavilion end. But he knew that, one, Hazrat is not in short and still won't produce any result for Hazrat. Maybe he knew that Karim Sadiq will have the measure of Hazrat, who's just a little short of finding his timing for the moment. So half the over, well done. We'll see whether Luke Ronke can once again attack Karim Sadiq. We will probably have a long on.
So change of field now again. Mid-on is up in the circle, deciding to have a wide long on and a square leg. This will be very interesting. He's going to make sure that he's right on the money here, Karim Sadiq. Anything that's slightly full is going to disappear straight down the ground. With this sort of field set, he's going to be coming round the wicket and trying to fire it in, not allowing Luke Ronke to hit him straight down the ground. It'll be a fascinating contest because the margin for error is so slim.
Of course, Ronke may want to play against the little bit of spin that Karim Sadiq might be getting from the pitch at this point of time and go over the offside. Well bowled, nice and full.
Yeah, just the 2 runs off the over, so he's pulled it back well as Karim Sadiq. For now, anyway. There's still 2 balls remaining, and we've all seen what's happened in the tournament thus far. A decent over turned to dust.
I think he'll have to change his arc now, Hazrat. Maybe hit out over off the off. No. Down leg, and luckily for Hazrat, he finds the gap. That could easily have gone to hand. Again, not finding his timing. Bit of a false shot that, but he gets away with another fog boundary, Hazrat.
Yeah, the 2 men up in the circle on the leg side, so all he had to do was find the gap in between them, and he did just that. It was at catchable height, but it split the gap. Well, he's back to the party, Hazratullah. The last 2 balls of that Karim Sadiq over. 1 pull shot through square leg and then a mighty blow into the stands. That's the area he fancies. He targets it and more often than not, muscles it over the rope. got him out. They needed that. Giving himself room. Trying to hit it over the offside, Luke Ronke. It was a change of pace. Really well bowled. And I tell you what, they needed that. Luke Ronke was flying. And he's perished in the cause. Good catch, but an even better piece of bowling.
Shahzad is so clever. Just a shade too short. Luke Ronke went through with it. And all he had to do was try and clear the offside field. Couldn't quite get the elevation. Relatively simple catch. And a very good start here by Luke Ronke. Comes to an early end for him. But of course, Kandahar Knights will be delighted getting their first 31. Very quick runs. It's 56 for 1.
Colin Ingram, the new man to the crease, just in the last game, showed glimpses of what he's capable of doing and returning to some form. Only 47 runs in the tournament so far, so he's been a big disappointment. But there's still plenty of time to get his team into the semi-finals and propel them on. Luke Ronke, he's done the damage, but he would have liked to have continued, giving himself room, trying to hit it over cover. And just manages to hit it straight to the man at extra cover.
Well, he showed his hand too soon, and I'm not so sure that Shahzad adjusted. But it was still a very good delivery, not giving him, Luke Ronke, that is, too much room to really free his hands. Just a little lack of timing, and he popped it up into cover. So Shahzad, once again on the wicket-taking trail. 4 for 19 against Bhatia Panthers, and that's a really good batting side. Of course, they've lost most of their matches, but we have to say Shahzad has been a standout bowler through the league, certainly for his team. Two lefties at the crease now for Kabul. We don't see that too often, but there is time.
Yeah, they only need just a smidgen over 6 to the over, so no real pressure on their innings now. They can really just bat normally and coast home.
And I'm particularly disappointed for Asghar Afghan because he does have some quality overseas players, but for many teams they've worked. Unfortunately, not for him. The batsmen, that is, both Sterling and certainly Brendan McCullum came here with a huge reputation. I know they're great for the league, but Asghar Afghan would have loved a few more runs from those two seasoned professionals.
That's quick, really is. You can work up a head of steam, Shahzad, make no mistake. And just goes to show for me again the quality of this wicket. It's not slow, it's not low. If you put in, it's coming on nicely. And that 152 for 5, just not enough, especially after the start they got. Their finish was pretty woeful, you'd have to say, the last 10 overs.
Well, for Colin Ingram, the task is relatively simple, no pressure at all. Hazrat will continue to swing away. Just give him the strike if you can. Not just yet.
Yes, it's a new challenge, this, for Hazratullah. He's just so used to playing one way, and especially batting first. You keep going, being greedy, finding the boundary. But when you know what is required, you know what you need to do. Is this another string to his bow if he can bat through the innings here, curb his natural game, and just see his team home? It's a must-win game. Can he do it?
Well, it's a good thought, but knowing that you have people like Laurie Evans, even Rashid, and many others behind you, maybe he's got the license to swing away, at least in the first 6. We'll see. You will have the strike now for just one delivery. And, you know, most of the Afghan batsmen, certainly the skippers, continue to utter one of the, I suppose, most common cliches of cricket: play your natural game. Everybody needs to play their natural game. We must play a natural game. In which case, I wonder what the instructions are to Hazratullah. Just go out there and play your natural game, which is, if it's in the arc, I'm going to hit it. I don't care. We need 400, we need 4. It doesn't matter. If it's in the arc, I'm going to swing. Just my guess.
There we go. You were right, Charu Sharma. And head up in the air, another slower ball, another terrific piece of bowling, you'd have to say, from Shahzad. He's been really, really good tonight. Amongst this fast start, he's been the one that's been able to bring it back, get the ball in the right area. He's shown 2 terrific changes of pace and has brought about 2 wickets as well. Congratulations all around, because they know full well that they're back in this game. There it is, just turning the hands over, not picked by Hazratullah. And it cannons into the stumps. He knows how important that wicket is. Excellent piece of bowling from Shahzad, brings his team back into the game. Hazratullah goes for 16, 57 for 2.
.57 for 2 then. Afsar Zazai in at number 4. And this is why he's here. Ajay Mehra alongside me. Good evening, Ajay.
Yeah, just a change of pace. Brian, good evening to you as well. And, just a change of pace. Didn't read it. Going for that big shot. As Charu was mentioning, that he loves to go after the bowling. Trying to go in the direction of mid-wicket. Not able to get the connection, and important wicket. Shahzad has been very impressive. 2 wickets for him in his 2 overs. Exactly what the captain wanted from him. Going to be Sadiq now. Once again, has been expensive so far. Oh, going for that wild swing over the cover area.
Vessel's whipping the bails off. And we're going to go upstairs just to make sure that Colin Ingram didn't lift his back foot. He seems reasonably confident.
Yeah, first checking on the no ball. Looks to be a absolutely legal delivery. No issues with that. But now it's going to be important to see his back leg, whether it was in the air or not. Just dragging it out at this stage. Doing well. That's going to be touch and go. The Beals coming out. I think he's just made it in time. The Beals have to come off the groove. And by the time they come in, he was just in, I think. That's what I reckon, Brian.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Ajay. But it's the third umpire who's going to make that decision. Foot going down there, and the bail's coming off there. So I reckon Colin Ingram's going to be safe here.
Yeah, Brian, touch and go, but in the end, should be safe. You need a bit of luck as a batsman, isn't it? That's the luck that he needs today, Colin Ingram.
He was 29 in the last match. That run chase against Balk, where they got 223, chasing 244 that Balk made. But prior to that, just 18 runs in the tournament.
It's been a struggle for a few overseas batsmen. To name a few, Paul Sterling, Brendan McCullum. You mentioned Ingram getting a start in the last game. Before that, not getting too many runs. At times, this is what cricket is, such a good surface here in Sharjah. We've seen some high-scoring games as well, wanting a single his partner, Zazai, but he was never interested in one. And what those 2 wickets have done is, with the 2 new batsmen, they'll be just taking a bit of time early on.
Over cover. And that'll be 4 First boundary for Colin Ingram. We're still in the power play, remember, so only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle, and Ingram taking advantage.
As I mentioned, Brian, about the time taken, but if you're bowling these deliveries too short for a batsman, he won't miss it. He's been expensive. I think they got to use another bowler from this end. Sadiq bowling his third over, already conceded 36 runs. Oh, going for the big one. That's maximum. Bagiza, Fog maximum. End of the power play, 67 for 2.
Oh, Karim Sadiq, he'll want the Sharjah cricket ground to open up and swallow him, I think. 3 overs for 42 in the third over, finishing like that. Colin Ingram just about finding his groove.
Just having a look at the ball, both umpires, the new box will be out, probably hitting one of the railings out there.
I think it actually landed on the concrete just at the base of the railings there, so didn't do it any good at all. The interesting thing is, you know, Ajay, that the 2 wickets that have gone down so far at 56 and 57, I think Kandahar will know that when Kabul played Nangarhar, they made a flying start and then they collapsed. Here are the 2 wickets to have gone down. Luke Ronchi driving to extra cover. And Hazratullah heaving across the line. Both wickets then to Saeed Shahzad. But yes, in that game against Nangarhar Leopards, the Leopards made 182 for 5. Hazratullah 40, Luke Ronchi 50. Those two added 80 in just 6 overs and 4 balls for the first wicket. But after that, the wheels really did fall off for the Kabul Zwanan. Afsar Zazai taking guard now. The man who played in the inaugural test match, or one of the inaugural test squad against India in Bengaluru, 6 and 1. And remember, of course, he was Afghanistan's first choice keeper ahead of Mohammad Shahzad in 2014-15, and that included the ICC Cricket World Cup. But he made just 36 runs in 6 matches in that Cricket World Cup.
Yeah, you're right. It was a struggle for him. That World Cup, didn't get too many runs. Of course, after that, Mohammad Shahzad, he's taken over. He's donned the gloves. He's done a very good job with the bat as well. But this man has got some experience behind him, Zai. Would like to get some runs today as well. The target at this stage doesn't look very far off. Kareem Jannat, a very fine all-rounder. 6 wickets for him so far in the Gul Bahar Afghanistan Premier League.
At 2 for 19 in the 1 victory so far for the team. Sterling with a throw at the non-striker's end. Remember that 2 for 19 also featured him running out his brother, who plays for Nangarhar, and 40 not out in 21 balls. So it was a wonderful all-round match for him.
But does well there, Paul Sterling. Aiming at the right hand. Couldn't really muster too many runs. Hasn't been in the best of forms with the bat, Paul Sterling. Along with Brendan McCullum, it's been a struggle for him. But they need to keep that pressure going, mount that pressure after those 2 wickets. Oh, that's played well. But there's a fielder in the deep, and he won't miss it. Just thought he timed it well. But just finding the fielder in the deep, and that's exactly what Jannat wanted.
Well, it's the magic man, Shahzad. He seems to be everywhere. Tremendous running catch. And Ingram, well, he just thought He'd found some form, pulled that away, and initially I'm sure was hoping for 6, but Shahzad was there, a nicely judged catch. And Karim Janat, he did it previously in the game against Nangarhar. Can he do it again now? Colin Ingram goes and Kabul are wobbling. 68 for 3.
The most consistent batsman as far as Kabul are concerned. Laurie Evans, he comes to the crease. 228 runs for him so far in the Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League. He's got a very good strike rate, and this was the wicket of Ingram. Just thought he timed it very well, just swiveling across. But the key there was finding the fielder in the deep who does well. Shahzad, he's been very busy with the ball and on the field as well. Would be disappointed. Colin Ingram. Probably the only ball he middled well.
Yeah, Laurie Evans in the tournament, 228 runs at an average of 76 with a strike rate of 155. 3 50s. Here we are, look how consistent that is. Last couple of innings, hasn't set the heather alight, but he can put all that right this evening by getting his side across the line.
Yeah, he's really done well. A few stars there, a few half centuries. Mentioned he's been the most consistent batsman for the Kabul side. He's got some work cut out here. That's a very good over from Jannat. 68 for 3.
Well, it was a rollicking start for Kabul's Wanan in pursuit of 153 for victory, but they've hit the buffers since then. They were 56 without loss, now they're 68 for 3. So still plenty of work to do for them. The asking rate isn't out of control by any stretch of the imagination, but they're losing wickets now. Waqar Salim Kale, I've been very impressed with this bowler in the tournament. 7 wickets for him so far and an economy rate of 6.46. Very impressive. Left arm wrist spin, and there's a slip in position. That's good to see from Kandahar.
Yeah, you're right, Brian, because that was the need of the hour. You've got to put the pressure on the batsmen. Also, you can create your own fantasy side. Test your skills, win real cash by logging on to myteam11.com. Surely one man who will be there in my side will be Laurie Evans. The way he's batted, he's been the backbone of this batting lineup for the Kabul side. Very consistent. And of course, by logging on, you can also win some real cash. That's terrific. Didn't have any clue about that one.
Well, in the last couple of matches, they've been missing Hamza Hotak with a side strain, have Kandahar, but this man has really performed admirably in Hamza Hotak's absence. Just get the one. You know, I'm not sure, Ajay, he's all that easy to pick. He's certainly easy on, early on rather, because he's all arms and legs, isn't he, at the crease? And you're just trying to get a bearing, trying to get a fix on his hand. But yeah, I think he's a very impressive character, this one.
Once again, the wrong one. Yes, you're right, because, you know, at times when you're not reading from the hand straight away, it's going to be difficult reading in the air. That's the time when a batsman gets a bit late. When you're trying to see the revolution, the revs in the air, you've got to pick from the hand exactly what he's doing. And a wrist spinner or any surface, Brian, will get that additional turn, more turn, as compared to a finger spinner. 71 for 3.
Wherever you're watching us, I hope you're enjoying the action. As you can see, we've got broadcasters all around the world tuning in. And it's been an absolute pleasure to bring you the action so far. And remember, we've got another 7 games for you after this one. 2 tomorrow, 2 on Wednesday. 2 on Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursday, the last group games. And then Friday and Saturday, the 2 semi-finals. And Sunday, the final.
You're right, and then of course from Friday onwards, going to be the big games, the knockout games, the semi-finals, and then the big final on the Sunday. So all the teams are vying for that, looking forward. One team will be missing out of the 5 teams in the semi-finals. It's going to be a very interesting business end up of the tournament, Brian, because you see the points table now. Bulk, they have done well. They already seem to have qualified. But it's going to be a race between Nangarhar and Kandahar, because Nangarhar, they play the last league game tomorrow, and that's going to be a big game for them. They're on 4 points. They'd like to win that.
Just a single for Laurie Evans, not timed. Yeah, the interesting thing as well about this evening's match, Ajay, is that Kandahar at the moment have got a far superior net run rate to Nangarhar. But if they were to lose this one heavily, that would obviously count against them in net run rate terms. Net run rate may still be an issue here, you know. Wide of the crease, that's well bowled. This is a really good spell from Karim Janat.
Yeah, you're right, and the point that Brian was making, you see the net run rate now. Minus 0.789 in comparison. Kandahar Knights having minus 0.119. So that's going to be a crucial factor in the end as well. Just not about winning, but the net run rate will come into play. The points are at level.
Even if Kandahar go down this evening, they'll want to make sure that they don't go down by too wide a margin in terms of balls remaining. At the moment, they're doing a pretty good job in that regard. The required rate is now just sneaking above 7 and over.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's been a very good comeback. Asghar should be happy, because 56 for no loss. The Kabul side were really flying high. After that, a few wickets. Once again, variation in pace. Slow delivery to end the over. 73 for 3.
Hazratullah Zazai, his evening's over. 16 he made tonight. Good use of the feet from Laurie Evans, and I think that's gone all the way it has. Spagiza Another fog boundary, and a much needed one as well, because the previous 5 overs we'd seen Kabul lose 3 for 17.
Yeah, but that was excellent shot. Just see how nimble-footed he is coming down the track, full face of the bat, knew exactly what he was doing, picking up in the air very quickly. And that's the reason he's such a crucial player. Sets the tone for his side, Laurie Evans. Just breaking the shackles, as you rightly mentioned, they were just struggling. At that stage, losing a few wickets, 3 wickets, very quickly. Bowling his second over, Vakar. Just dabbing it away. Intelligent shot. Will pick up a couple of runs, Zazai.
Interesting, the slips come out now. Still can't help thinking that it might be worthwhile having the slip in there, because, just to repeat the fact, Kandahar need wickets really.
Oh, leading edge, and that's taken. Simplest of catches there. Vakar striking, didn't read that one. Trying to just play on the onside, just closing the bat face. And that's a very important wicket coming for the Kandahar side.
Well bowled by Wakar. Dolly catch for Sterling. And, well, we said the currency's wickets. And Wakar has delivered. Frustration for Zazai. He didn't pick it, I don't think. That's what he's indicating there. He's on his way after a bit of a struggle for him, if truth be told. 6 off 13 balls. And Kabul now, well, from 56 without loss, and now 82 for 4.
So Yunus Ahmedzai comes to the crease to join Laurie Evans. Hasn't got too many runs so far. He's struggled for form. His best 24. There's 71 runs for him in his T20 career. A slip in place as well. That's a good delivery. He's really bowling well. Vakar mixing it up very nicely so far.
Zazai just working what turned out to be the googly away on the onside, or trying to do so. Didn't pick it. Fine bit of bowling. And again, another googly. That's the end of the over. 10 gone. We're at the halfway stage of the Kabul innings. 82 for 4.
All the spectators here, the Sharjah Cricket Ground, would be enjoying this contest, because the way Kabul's one on started chasing the 150 and change for victory here today, we thought they could end it pretty quickly. But 4 wickets have fallen, and due credit to the bowlers of Kandahar Knights for the moment, defending fairly well their low total. Mohammad Naveed comes back, has given only 8 in his opening over. Shehzad, of course, has bowled magnificently. Wakar on the previous over. The lefty leg spinner taking a wicket. It's all going reasonably well for the Kandahar Knights. The pressure needs to continue, and this man could make the big difference here. Laurie Evans. Ooh, hang on. There was a... one can understand why he pulled away, although it seemed a shade late. I wonder what the umpire will do here, because the ball was played. Will they declare it a dead ball?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, he didn't pull away. He played the ball, so he's going to say dead ball, but I think it was really late, to be honest. Be interesting. Nothing's happened, so it's all very well for him to say dead ball. What if he'd been bowled?
True. In his defense, I think his audio came in pretty well. We can't hear that here, but just before he plays, hang on, wait. But I don't think that really counts.
The bowler was straight away. That's ball, isn't it?
Couldn't find the timing there. Still, just a single. And, well, there's Laurie Evans, there's Rashid, and we should think that they have a very mature head on their shoulders. Rashid's only 20-21, but he has batted much better. I shouldn't say much better than he's bowled. He's bowled well. But to me, I think Kabul's one on still may not be stressed. They'd be worried just a bit, a little apprehensive, but not stressed.
Yeah, Shahid Ullah can bat as well. And there's Rashid, obviously, after that. And they have bowled well. Shahzad has been really good, no doubt about it. But I just think some of the shot selection hasn't been up to scratch, really. Run rate, not a problem because of the fast start they got. So they've been able to take their time a wee bit. But I just think when they do a bit of a stock take after the game, when you look at those dismissals, the 4 dismissals now, I don't think that they can really point to the fact that they were bowled out. I think that there's been a bit of batsman error.
Yeah, they wouldn't be best pleased, the Kandahar Knights, especially after they got off to a flyer. Perhaps there would have been some kind of a team instruction to just now cruise rather than, I don't know, maybe, I can't say throwing the wickets away, but the shots weren't magnificent, the ones they got out to. But I think due credit to the bowlers. They bowled very tight.
We were on air when I was talking about Hazratullah and maybe adding a little string to his bow of not having to just smash it all the time, about having to finish a game when, you know, it's all but dusted. A good batting wicket and just that ability to be able to do that, I think, is something you learn as you go along. You can't just play at one pace and regardless of the state of the game, just say, oh, but that's how I play. That's my natural game. It's got a bit of a grey matter's got to intervene and say, well, hold on. Now's the time for me to get 30, 40 not out, and I'm just going to do it, run a ball. I'm going to get some batting practice out here, but I'm going to see my team home.
You make a very good point. Will they steal a single here? They get the opportunity, because even the 124 that he made from 55, that game they actually lost, but of course they were chasing a mountain, a very tall mountain at 240 and odd. So here are the wickets. That's Ronki after a terrific start. Hazrat completely done in by that slower one. And we'll have to say maybe he was a shade unlucky there, Colin Ingram. Swinging it around. Jannat, of course, delighted. And then the 4th shot there, leading edge. Waqar well bowled. So maybe Colin Ingram was a little unlucky because there was just that one man down there. And the others, Hazrat particularly, completely done in by that slow delivery. To an extent, clever bowling, but otherwise, as you say, just not planned enough. The chase.
Also the state of the game. That was Shahzad's second over. You know he's probably going to, that'll be his last over. He's going to come back at the end. So it was right at the end of the over. Hazratullah, all he needed to do was just defend it and obviously go into the next over. So yes, credit to the bowler, credit to the skill shown by Shahzad in particular. But I just think a bit of a mental gap insofar as the approach, particularly after that start, when you're only needing 6 to the over. I just would have liked to have sent a message if I was the coach and say, hey, mate, we know you can hit the ball, but show me how you can actually win us a game just playing nice and normally. And that doesn't mean blocking it. It means still being positive, but just playing good cricket shots.
Yeah, especially when the bowling's pretty tight and you've got a clever bowler against you, you've got to also show the ability to stay there for a while, choose the right ball. Well, we'll never know. Not so far. 11 gone, 86-4. You think he's a Kabul supporter or Kandahar? Looks a little worried either way. But come on, enjoy yourself if you want to be a fan of a match. Kept a little low. Waqar's bowled very well. has kept the batsman guessing. I think he enjoys his left arm googly a lot more than his regulation leg spin.
The 1 wicket for Wakar thus far. He's a tricky customer, and he's got a very good googly leg spinner as well. So you've got to make sure that you're watching his hand closely as a batsman. You can't be taking it for granted and just watch a general area. You've got to make sure you're focused on that wrist to see which way it's turning. And if not, try and play as late as possible to see if you can work it out off the wicket.
And that's why length is so important. If Wakar bowls a little short, he might get pulled away or cut. Laurie Evans, of course, has enjoyed a terrific batting spell here at the Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League, powered by Fog. And that momentum carries on, that confidence carries on, knowing that he's seeing the ball well, knows the conditions well. So he's quite the key right now. And Yunus will do well to just give him a stand. Push it around. Yes! Oh, lucky.
There's a big gap on the leg side, so I understand him wanting to work it in that area. Just got to be careful, as that was the googly. So he didn't read it and very nearly chipped it back to the bowler. There we go. So he's working on the leg side. No issues there. But you just turn your bat a little bit more and you get that leading edge and the bowler's in play. So no issue with the thought process. Just make sure you cover the ball properly.
Oh, Laurie Evans almost takes the umpire out. Oh, terrific. It's a Fog boundary. And it was hit at pace after getting to the pitch of the ball.
Yep, that's the easiest way to play a spinner. Get to him on the half volley, because it's not turning left, it's not turning right. It's going straight out of the centre of the bat. A bit of air, he's down the wicket and smashes it down the ground. The umpire, good effort, sir. Takes evasive action and all the way to the boundary for 4.
So just a hint of a smile on Anil Chowdhury's face. It could easily have been a big grimace had he not very acrobatically gotten out of the way. And again, tossed up, but just pushed away for a single. It's sensible that Laurie Evans keeps the strike, appreciated by Hazratullah. So 8 off that after 12, 94 for 4. What a terrific bowling effort by Kandahar Knights. Shehzad 2 for 8. Karim Jannat 1 for 3 in 2 overs, mind you. This is very, very tight bowling. And Wakar has given a few. He's also taken a wicket and continues to trouble. So Jannat comes back. Has been right on target.
Yeah, Laurie Evans knows what's required. He's got 18 so far, 15 deliveries. And Yunus 4 of 8. So they've just got to make sure that they understand the game's in hand. Lost the 4 wickets. They need to make sure that they make an indent now and not lose another couple of wickets, because they do that, and then they'll be under some severe pressure. A little inside edge. Oh, I tell you what. Wow. Now then. The LBW, there's a definite inside edge. There's no issue there. It's whether there's a little bit of a run out here. Direct hit. Is he short?
Well, Yunus finally stretched, but I think he was hesitating after the ball ricocheted onto his pads. He was a little late to start, and a direct throw always makes things tough, but he's home. Big stretch eventually. He had to motor a bit. I think he sensed that the throw was coming at his end, and that big stretch will save him. Of course, the fielder had to turn, and change direction, and then hit non-striker's end. He's safe. You know, a while back they showed Tamal Mills, Alistair, and just to carry on that theme about the overseas players, sadly for Kandahar Knights, so far, not really working out. Must have been a bit of a dampener for Asghar Afghan, because there are plenty of other young Afghan players who would love to have kind of showcased their abilities. There's a throw again. Clever work in the field, but no reward for now. Jamal Mills, of course, not playing this match. Again, Jannat continues to bowl a very, very good line and length, not allowing the big shots. And this could spell a little bit of trouble. If not Laurie Evans, then maybe Yunus might just feel the pressure and go for a big shot and then lose his wicket. If that happens, maybe Rashid will come in, but or Shahid, but it would not be too clever. The point here for Yunus is to just make sure there's bat on ball, take the single. Plenty of singles, plenty of gaps, there's plenty of singles on offer.
Well, that's a bit agricultural, I suppose, would be the description of that particular stroke.
Wasn't listening to me, was he? Again. Tap and run. No, bowled him. He has kept it so tight, Karim Jannat, and he gets even reward for what is turning out to be a terrific spell. A wild heave by Yunus. Exactly.